Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor. If you're new here, please make sure to hit the subscribe button because it's a good time. And in today's video, I am currently wearing sweatpants, a baggy tee. I've got some tea in my little sloth mug. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, then you wouldn't know yet that I'm obsessed with sloths. I've been posting them a lot on the gram. Look at how cute he is! Oh my gosh, so all of my sloths that I have in the house, and currently I think there's for sure over 10 of them, they're all named Sid because of Sid the sloth on Ice Age. And yes, I have like 10 Sids in the house. It has been a minute since I filmed, and by a minute I mean over a month ago, I think. And for some reason today I just finally started feeling motivated. I think this week actually the weather has been really good, and Glenn and I have been getting outside for walks, for bike rides. Actually, we went for our first bike ride last night. I'll pop some pictures in right here. And up until recently, I felt a lot of guilt for not being productive or busy, but then I realized that I have been busy doing a lot of things that are good for me mentally. Things that make me happy on the inside and not so much from the outside world. Productivity doesn't mean that you have to be always working or always be busy. My body just needed a break, a full reset. I needed to catch up on sleep and allow myself to actually relax and not feel like I had to be somewhere constantly or be crossing things off of a list 24/7. And I think finally I'm ready to start making content again. At the beginning of this quarantine, really thought that because I had all of this extra time that I would just want to make videos and take tons of photos and just create tons of content and be really creative. But honestly, I totally fell into a creative rut. I felt the total opposite. I feel like when I have so much time, I don't know what to do with it and I get overwhelmed. And also, I mean, obviously these are not regular times, so I shouldn't be holding myself to regular standards, and neither should you if you are feeling that way. I've tried to vlog so many times throughout the last month and a bit, but I never committed a full day to vlogging, and I never really finished my thoughts in any of those vlogs. I have some good footage, but it was just not cohesive, and I couldn't get my brain to function the way it needed to function to make a vlog. So that's why I'm just doing this video, to give you a little bit of a peek into what we were doing and kind of draw it all in together this way. And also share with you some of the things that have really helped me get through this time and are still helping me. Productivity for me lately has been reading books. I would say that's probably my #1 thing. For my whole life, I've loved reading. When I was a kid, I would literally, if my mom bought me a new book or if I got to go to the library, I would lock myself in my room or just be glued to the dining table, and I had to finish the book as soon as possible. If it was good, I would not put it down. I remember when my mom bought me the Twilight book when I was like 12, I read it pretty much in one sitting, and then she went out and bought the rest of the books for me, and I didn't talk to anyone pretty much until I finished them. And it was the same thing with the Hunger Games, and then so on and so forth. So reading has always been a very big part of my life, and as of recently I haven't had very much time. I'd probably say the last few years, because I was a student and I had a million jobs and just so many different things going on, that I would pick up a book on a rare day when I actually had time, and then I would read a bunch of it, get super into it, and then I just wouldn't pick it up for months at a time because I just couldn't find the time or wouldn't make the time because I was so focused on other things. The only time I really remember sitting down reading for hours and hours was when we went to Dominican, which was 2 years ago. Every trip that we've had since then has been pretty busy. Like, for example, our last trip was Vegas, and obviously I'm not really doing any reading there. During this quarantine, I've actually had time to really get lost in a book, and I forgot how good it feels, and I forgot how nice it is to stumble upon a word that I don't know and Google the meaning and just realize that I'm learning, and it's been so nice. And so I wanted to share with you guys the 2 books that I finished. And one of them I actually started last summer, so almost a year ago, and I just never ended up finishing it. But I finally finished Becoming by Michelle Obama. I know it's a little bit older at this point, so I'm sure a lot of people have read it, but it's honestly so good. I could not put this book down. There was a couple chapters in the middle where Michelle was talking a lot about politics and it became a little bit dry for me, but then after those 2 chapters, kind of somewhere in the middle, I was absolutely glued to this book. It is so incredible. Her writing is so descriptive that I can just picture everything. And when Obama got elected as president, I was in high school and I didn't really know much about politics, and now I wish I had, because their story is just so incredible. Really enjoyed this one, and I felt so good finishing it because it's been a while since I really finished a book like this. So there's this one. And then this book, one of my best friends, Casey, actually got this for me for Christmas this year. She was in Winnipeg for the holidays and we exchanged gifts. We both got each other a book, which was so funny. But she got me this amazing book called Everything is Figureoutable by Marie Forleo. Got a little sticky note here because I've saved so many pages in here that I need to refer back to. This book is so good. I can't even explain to you guys how it really changed my mindset. Casey and I both listened to a podcast called The Ed Milet Show. She's actually the one who showed it to me. And one day he had Marie as a guest on his show, and I guess she just thought that this book would fit me. And honestly, it's so inspiring. Her saying everything is figureoutable sounds exactly like what it sounds like. Is just that literally everything is figureoutable. Nothing is impossible. In this book, there's a lot of writing exercises and just things to help you kind of narrow down what your goals are and what you want to achieve right now. And it was just such a big wake-up call for me, because reading this, I was like, wow, I'm really the only one who can make my life what I want it to be, and if I want my life to be what I want it to be, then I've got to work for it. So I definitely recommend this to anybody who's in a slump, anybody who has a dream that they want to pursue. This is an excellent book. The third book I want to talk to you guys about is called American Dirt. I'm not even halfway through. I'm about at page 104, but this book is so good. I was actually searching on the Indigo website for the bestsellers, and I just read so many good reviews for this one. It takes place in Mexico, and it's about a mother and a son on the run from drug cartels, basically. And it's so incredible and so horrific, but also there's so much love. I don't know, you guys just have to read it. It's very, very good, and I definitely think I'm gonna finish this week, so stay tuned for an update on my final thoughts. I also have been keeping in touch with my friends pretty much every day. I talk to my parents for sure every single day, and it's just been really nice focusing on those relationships and being able to stay connected even though we can't physically be together. I think it's so important, and I mean, obviously I do enjoy my alone time, and it is good to spend time alone, but it's also good to not forget about your friends and not forget to put effort into those relationships, because right now is a difficult time for everybody. We don't really know what each person is going through, so I always like to check in and just make sure everyone's okay, and they do the same for me, which is great. And for those of you who don't know, I do have anxiety and depression, and honestly, during this quarantine, it just got really bad. For the first 2 weeks, I was like, okay, I'm off work, like, let's chill, I can do this. I honestly was really enjoying just spending time by myself and with Glenn and cooking from home and doing all the things, and then all of a sudden in week, I think 3, I just felt severely depressed and exhausted, and I had really bad anxiety about the whole pandemic situation. I was scared that I was gonna get sick, or that one of my loved ones is gonna get sick, or just the amount of uncertainty with finances and jobs and health and just everything for everybody was just making my anxiety really quite bad. And so I fell into a rut. And not just a creative rut, but also just a personal rut. I think it was a week or 2 ago now, but it was a Friday night, and I hadn't talked to anyone besides Glenn and like my parents for the longest time. And one of my friends, Danilo, actually called me. Honestly, at first I was like, I would rather just sit by myself, not talk to anyone. I just didn't really have the energy, but probably 10 minutes into the conversation, I felt so much better. I felt more like myself than I had in a while. And he asked me this question, and it seems like such a simple question, but it really threw me off guard, and it really actually made me think. So he asked me, do you feel better after we've talked a little bit? And I was like, yes, actually. And I don't know why it just surprised me so much, but I really did feel so much better after we talked, and I think it was just part of the reason why I was feeling so down was that I was missing that social interaction, the connection. And I mean, obviously I, you know, was reading books, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube and stuff like that, but I wasn't really having a conversation and energy to bounce off of. I mean, besides Glenn, obviously, but I mean, just another person outside of my relationship. So it just felt really nice, and I felt super inspired after our conversation. And he brought up a good point about how, you know, obviously it's great to spend time alone, and it's great if you enjoy spending time alone, that's even better, but sometimes you don't realize how in your own head you are. And I guess that was it for me. I was just so in my own head, and I was feeding into my anxiety and depression and my negative thoughts, and I just really believed everything that I was thinking because I wasn't really voicing it to Glenn. I wasn't really talking about it, but I'm just really thankful that I have really awesome friends that I've been keeping in touch with since then, and I've definitely been enjoying the little FaceTime dates and phone calls. I actually kind of feel like I'm in high school again. You know, when you used to like have so much time to just talk to your friends on the phone or like FaceTime or whatever? That's how it feels like right now, and it's actually pretty awesome. So definitely staying in touch is one of those important things. Another thing that we've been up to a lot is going for nature walks and bike rides. And I think 2 weeks ago we were on a nature walk kind of in our area, and we saw a beaver. It was so crazy. If you guys are following me on Instagram, you've definitely already seen these beaver stories, but he was so cute. We were walking by the river and I heard this splash and I was like, oh my god, like what's in there? Let's go see. And it was a freaking beaver. I've never seen one, and he was so cute. We could hear him chewing on the trees. And okay, I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'm just gonna put the clips in now. That was super fun. We walked for probably an hour and a bit that day, and then another day we were going for a walk and we saw a field full of deer. There was like 9 or 10 of them, and we got actually pretty close. I got some footage of that as well, so I'm gonna pop that in right now.
So we're currently out for a walk, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 deer in this one spot. Hold on.
And then I actually went for a jog at a track near our place. And needless to say, I need to work on my endurance. I've always known that I suck at running. Like genuinely, I do not enjoy it whatsoever, but I do work on at Orange Theory, and I want to be able to go back when they reopen and not die on the treadmill. So I'm going to work on my endurance, even though I don't enjoy running, but it's just a goal of mine. I want to be able to run for like 20 minutes without stopping, and right now I can barely make it to 5. So I did that the other day. That felt really good. It felt super nice to get some sun on my skin. Along the topic of nature, we actually just finally set up our balcony. We got some patio furniture, which was awesome. I found this set at Walmart for literally $98 for a table and 4 chairs. Like, that is a crazy deal. I have also been cleaning, and when I say cleaning, I mean deep clean, like cleaning the baseboards and the walls and every single corner in here, and like sweeping the balcony. I put soapy water all over the ground, which is cement, by the way. I'm definitely planning to make this apartment look a lot cuter than it is, especially our bedroom, because our bedroom literally is just there for function. Like, it's not cute whatsoever. That's gonna be my next little project. I actually thought that would be my first project in the house, but it ended up being the patio, just because the weather got so beautiful and I really want to be out there, and I just figured if I have a beautiful space outside to sit and edit or sit and read, then I won't have an excuse to not edit anymore or create content, because I'll have this amazing little office outside. Another thing that I've been really taking my time with this month has been skincare. skincare. It's felt really, really good, and if you guys are interested in actually seeing the skincare routine, I will do a whole separate video on that, because if I add it in here, this video is going to be very, very long. Along with the beauty side of things, I've been taking care of my hair a lot. I've been doing hair masks every few days and just not using heat on it, letting it air dry, and I've also been doing my nails. So I finally grew all of them out, as you can see, kind of. I got a bunch of really cute nail polishes, and so I've been painting them, and it's just been feeling really, really good. I actually had acrylics on for the longest time, so my real nails were just crap. The other thing that I've been loving are home workouts. Honestly, I really did think that I would be doing a lot more than I am, but I'm done feeling guilty about it. If I get outside for a walk or a bike ride that day, then I consider that physical activity, because it really is, and I'm trying not to push myself so hard to the point that I feel guilty, because I mean, obviously working out at home is not the same as the gym, and I'm very lucky actually to have a bunch of equipment to use, and there's tons of free resources online for home workouts. I was having a lot of fun with that in the first like 2 weeks of quarantine, pretty much working out every day. Then I stopped, and now I'm slowly getting back into it, but the way that I'm approaching it now is I'm trying to do workouts that are fun for me, that have good music, or just things that feel good, not necessarily things that I feel like I have to do. The last thing I want to talk about that's been helpful for me has been using my planner or my journal. I really am a visual person, and I love to physically cross things out when I've completed things. I'm just one of those people who likes to have their boxes checked off, and for me it was kind of difficult at the beginning to figure out what to even write in my planner, because technically I'm not really obligated to do anything right now, but I started writing down at least 2 small goals for myself a day, whether that's literally just put on a face mask or vacuum the apartment. Just really, really small goals that are definitely attainable, that would make me feel really good to cross off. And eventually, as I kept practicing that over the last few weeks, I've written down bigger goals. Obviously nothing to overwhelm myself. The goal is not to write down a million things to do and then not be able to complete them and then feel like crap after. It's just to remind yourself that you're capable of doing these things, and that those things should be celebrated even if they seem small, because let's be real, we're living through a pandemic right now, and anything that you accomplish in this time is far more worth being celebrated than any other time, because it's a tough time for everybody. I just think it's important to make yourself feel good. Okay guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying positive. I hope you're healthy, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure to go follow me on Instagram, because I post a lot more there, which I am working on. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!